So I just finished cleaning and I figured, why not sit on the floor, enjoy some Nutella and what are these things called? Like crisps, Nutella and crisps, and talk to you guys about why I decided to build out my 4Runner and why I didn't get a van. Well, so there's a little bit of a backstory. I have always wanted a large vehicle. So a couple years back, I purchased a 1991 Isuzu Trooper named Dark Stark, and that car was my baby. I loved that car. I loved everything about it. I loved that it was high up and it had all windows. All these windows were very big, and it kind of felt like I was in a fishbowl. And when that car died on me, it was really sad because I was about to take the seats out of the back. I had it all planned out to get one of those rooftop tents, which, by the way, I'm very glad I didn't. Maybe in another video, I'll talk about rooftop tents. But long story short, Dark Stark died on me. So I've been wanting to get another car, and especially one that was 4-wheel drive. And friends of mine that have 4Runners, family members of mine that have 4Runners, they have never had any issues. Also, for some reason, my entire family has Toyota Avalons. I'm not sure why. It's just my family's go-to sedan. And I never wanted one. I never wanted an Avalon. I was like, no, I want a big car. And anyway, so decided to get a 4Runner, partially because I've always wanted a 4-wheel drive SUV, and two, I just can't get myself to commit to the van life just yet. I think being in a car is a lot more my style. Like, while it's great to be able to have all that room for a kitchen and a bathroom and all of that good stuff, I guess I just don't need that much. Like, most of the time when I travel, it's out of a backpack. So the fact that I have an entire car is just, I have so much more room. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with it. Like I said in my last video, my uncle gave me his cargo carrier for the top of my 4Runner. I don't even know what I'm gonna put in there. Like, maybe my rollerblades or like my longboard. I don't know, because I don't have that much stuff. I don't know if you can see behind me, but all those boxes, that's all stuff I'm getting rid of. Like, I'm literally selling everything. Back to the point. Hold on. I'm supposed to be eating and talking to you, but so back to the point, I just couldn't commit to living in a van. Like, I don't have that much stuff to begin with, and I'm a relatively low maintenance person. So for me, like, my Jetboil and like my backpacking camp set is enough for me. Like, I don't need a huge stove or anything like that. And I mostly eat a vegetarian-based diet anyway, so like I didn't really see the need to have all that extra space for one of those like mini fridge coolers. I do plan on getting a cooler, but like I said, since I mostly eat like fruits and vegetables, like those are okay to just kind of be out and not really need refrigeration for. I mean, there are some things that I'm really gonna miss, like ice cream, but I don't know about y'all, but I definitely eat like a whole tub of ice cream in one sitting. So I don't really foresee that being a huge issue. And another reason why I decided to get a 4Runner instead of a van is 4-wheel drive. So while you can find, it's rare, but while you can find all-wheel drive vans, being able to drive out into the middle of nowhere and not have to ever worrying about getting stuck is something that I want, especially as a female. Like, I don't know why, but I have this independence when it comes to traveling that, like, I don't want to be stuck on the side of the road because I'm stuck in a ditch and have to patiently wait for someone with a big car to pull me out. So like, 4-wheel drive is a must for me. And that's why I wanted to get a car that was 4-wheel drive instead of a van. So the last reason why I decided to get a 4Runner instead of a van is because I want to blend in. Okay, like I know some people think that van life, like you blend in because you kind of look like a work van or whatever, but with an abundance of like van lifers and overlanders and, you know, car travelers and stuff like that, I feel like people can pick out the van lifers, and I just have a really big fear of my car getting broken into, like my van getting broken into, or like my 4Runner getting broken into. So I think the stealth aspect of a 4Runner was more my style than a van, because I feel like 4Runners blend in a lot more than vans do. Like the transit vans kind of look like work vans, so like I get that vibe. But if you get like, I don't know, like an Astro van, like part of me is like, yo, we all know you live in your van. And I just don't want to risk any of my stuff getting broken into. Last reason why I decided to get a 4Runner instead of a van is because I don't know how long realistically I'm gonna be living out of it. I mean, I know for sure while I'm at the national park, I'll be living in my 4Runner for 3 months. So for those 3 months, I'm 100% living out of it. But then after that, I don't really know what I'm gonna be doing. And I like the idea of being able to convert it back into a car once I'm done living out of it. So that way, when I do decide to go on camping trips in the future, it's just a matter of moving some platform boards out and putting the mattress back on and having a bed again. Whereas if I got a van, I would lose the entire aspect of having a car, unless if I were to purchase another vehicle. And for someone who's not trying to do like overland life or van life for an extended amount of time, it just made more sense for me to invest in a vehicle that I would be using for all aspects of my life, whether I'm overlanding or, you know, going back into like a traditional, that's so funny to think that like living in a house is like a traditional style of living. But yeah, so like if I were to go back to, you know, living in an apartment or living in a house or something like that, I would still have a vehicle that I could, you know, drive my friends around in, or like pick up my nieces and nephews, or, you know, have like a regular car instead of it permanently being like a mobile home, essentially. Yeah, so those are some of my reasons why I decided to get a 4Runner instead of a van, and that's just my personal preference. Like, if you're ready to just freaking dive into van life and like live out of it and freaking spend a bunch of money in making a kitchen and a full bedroom and all of that, like, by all means, go for it. Live your absolute best life, and I'm rooting for you, because I don't think I'm ready to fully dive into van life just yet, but 4Runner / overlander life, I can definitely dive into, especially because the main reason, aside from like the stealth aspect, would be the 4-wheel drive, because I want to be able to like freaking climb rocks and not get worried about getting stuck on a trail somewhere or whatever, especially because the national park that I'm working at is up north. So being from down south, we don't really have mountains or even really hills. So it just made more sense to get 4-wheel drive. And yeah, that would probably be the main reason why I got 4-wheel drive, so that way I don't get stuck. But yeah, I am super excited to start this journey. And if you guys have any questions or recommendations on build outs, because I've watched a lot of build out videos, leave them in the comments, or tell me if you have a 4Runner too, and you know why you chose a 4Runner for overlanding and not like a Suburban or a van or a Tahoe or a Bronco or any of these other like big cars that people are turning into overlanders. So yeah, leave it in the comments. Let's get a conversation going. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Also, I was supposed to be eating and talking, and I took one bite. It's fine. All right. See you guys later. Bye.